What's up, everybody? We back up in here. Hella Flagrant, the podcast. It's your main man, Flagrant DM. I'm in here with my brother, Shawn B. Flagrant. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh, man, I'm always good, man. How you doing today?
Oh, you know me, man. It's always a lovely day when we get to be on the Hella Flagrant podcast, talking about these flagrant sports stories, man, giving it to the fans. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, for real, man. Season 2 is here, man. We visual. You see me? Look, this is me right here. This is D right here, man. We back in this thing, man. Just happy to be back talking about sports, man. Sports is life. I can dig it, man. All day.
So, you know, we don't waste time. We get right to it on Hella Flagrant, the podcast. You know what I mean? So flagrant sports stories, flagrant sports news going on right now. One of the biggest stories, obviously, is Urban Meyer's suspension. You know, we have talked about this between ourselves, and we have definitely written a few stories on theflagrantfoul.com. Make sure you go on theflagrantfoul.com and read up on all the latest flagrant foul stories. But we have written a story about first when he was placed on a leave of absence, and then now about his 3-game suspension and how, you know, I wrote the story, so it's from my perspective, but you know, I think we kind of share the same opinion that this 3-game suspension is as weak as it gets. It's garbage. You know what I mean? It's completely. I mean, come on, man. You washed your hands of a situation that you should have been more diligent about, and you got off.
Right, exactly. And so for y'all that don't know right now, Urban Meyer is the head coach of Ohio State. His wide receivers coach, Zach Smith, actually, all this is going down because of him. So basically, it's a domestic violence case between Zach Smith and his wife. In 2009, Zach Smith was arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant victim. That pregnant victim was Courtney Smith, his wife. Nothing was said at the time. I think he was working at that time at Florida State. But according to the interview that I watched, basically Courtney went and told her parents and his parents about the whole situation. They came back to her and said, well, we don't want you to talk about anything because we don't want your husband to lose his job. That's not the way to go, but I mean, I understand sometimes that's what situations are. It's not right. It's bullshit. We might as well say it, man. Flagrant foul, whatever. Yeah. But, you know, but that's what it was. So fast forward to 2015, actually, when he was arrested again for the same thing, domestic violence and on felony assault. Now, at this point, he went to Shelly Meyer, who is Urban Meyer's wife, and told her and Shelly Meyer, let me add this too. Shelly Meyer actually works in Ohio State as well. Right. She is, you know, she's on the board with them. So at that time, she came to her and told her about what was happening with her husband. Now, she told her, I have to tell Urban.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's his boss. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It never was, you know, it never was brought that it actually was told, but you got to think about it. This is his wife. Now, this has been going on for this many years. They're going to say something. It's 2018, folks.
Not even that. I mean, that's one part to take into it. If, you know, Chrissy Smith told Shelly Meyer anything, yeah, it's fair to believe that as a wife, she passed some of this information on to her husband. Even if she didn't give him all the details, she at least alluded to something was going on. I gotta be smart enough to believe that part of it. But aside from that part of it, you take into account this has been going on since they were at Florida, right. Came to Ohio State with the same bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that you have been working with this man for this many years and never, like, that's like being around somebody that's an alcoholic for 15 years and you go, oh, I've never seen him drink. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
like, exactly. come on, bro. You had to have seen it. Whether you wanted to play blind ignorance and act like, all right, well, I'm gonna just let it get swept under the rug. It didn't come directly to me, or I wasn't directly involved, so I'm gonna just, you know, stay out as far as I can. So that way, if somebody ever asked me, I could just deny that I was ever involved. But come on, man, let's be honest.
And that's the situation that is at hand. That's why Urban Meyer is getting blamed for all this, because you acting like boo-boo the fool, like you didn't know nothing. But you clearly, I mean, everybody, like you said, everybody's got to know this. I mean, these are police documents. This man's getting arrested. You have to know this is happening under your watch. And even if you don't want to address it, it's still going to come to light. And the fact of the matter is, Ohio State is just as much in the wrong as him for just erasing this under the rug. If any employer finds out about you doing some criminal shit, they're going to fire you or suspend you on site. Why is this any different? Like everybody, I feel like everybody in Ohio didn't know about this. LeBron didn't know. The Browns didn't know. Everybody in Ohio did not know about this somehow, but yet still, it just now came out in 2018. But in 2009 and 2015, this came up. It makes no sense. I'm just saying LeBron and Browns like it was whatever. But seriously though, everybody should have known this. It shouldn't have been an outside source to do a report for you to find out. Oh, I didn't know. Nah, man, you knew. You worked with him right on your side. That was your right hand man. Right. So I don't want all that.
And then to make matters worse, your half apology, your press conference was a real slap in the face. I mean, you didn't take time to apologize to the victim. You didn't take time to apologize to the victims of domestic violence. You didn't take time to say, hey, you know what? I may have been a part of covering up something, and you know what? I didn't know how to. You didn't take any sort of level of responsibility, even in the smallest sense. The only thing you said is, "I'm sorry that we're in this situation."
We are in this. The only person that's in this situation was his wife, Zach Smith's wife. That's who was in the situation from 2009. She has been in a situation that you turned a blind eye to. Everybody did. And it makes no sense. You couldn't even apologize to her directly. They had to have a media member bring up her exact name. You couldn't even say your name or her name in your speech. Doesn't make any sense. Back to Ohio State, though. 3-game suspension.
Right.
3 games. Let's go down these lanes. Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Like on the real, like if you need me to quarterback against Oregon State, I'll get that W, no doubt. Yeah. That's an easy money win.
I'm calling plays. I'm holding signs. I got it.
Exactly. I mean, Rutgers, do we even know? I mean, half of y'all don't even know where Rutgers is at, man. And then TCU. TCU is a quality football team, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of his suspension of the 3 games is he's still allowed to coach in practice.
Right.
So it's not like
all the way up to game day.
Exactly.
It's not like he gets one. He can coach all the way up till Friday night.
Exactly. So, I mean, and you know, if you're at Ohio State, he's got assistants that can work, that can do that job. Right. So there's no reason that, you know, if an assistant coach is coaching those 3 games, that it's going to be a big deal. Now, what comes into play is the reason why I think Ohio State and the NCAA is wrong for this is they should have either fired him or suspended him for a whole season with no pay, obviously, but the fact that they didn't is whatever. But this is why I think they gave him 3 games. 2 more games after that when he comes back. We'll give him 1 warm-up game, week 4. But on that week 5, they play Penn State, one of their biggest rivals. Yep. They need him back for that because they don't want to lose against Penn State, because had they do that, obviously, if Penn State has a better record, they won't get in the football championship in the playoffs. Absolutely.
It's strategic. I mean, it's definitely strategic. It's a money thing. And think about the hype. I mean, not just, you know, we want to win this game, but Urban Meyer, game 4, whatever. But now he's back off suspension. Think about the ratings that's going to be for them. They thought about this. They planned this out. They had these same conversations when they were sitting down trying to decide, well, all right, do we give them 2? Do we give them 3? Oh, look, 3 kind of works out, because if we give them 3, then it'll be kind of a week in there, and then we'll have a week to promote this Penn State game and hype this up. They knew what they were doing, man. This is trash. It's trash.
It's ridiculous. And I know we sit here, we talk about the flagrant shit and everything like that, flagrant foul all day long. Like, I mean, that's our brand. But domestic violence is wrong in any sort of the matter.
Right.
And, you know, if Urban Meyer can't apologize to Zach Smith's wife, man, I'm sitting here saying sorry that you had to go through this from 2009 and beyond. I don't even know when it started, but whenever it started to now, there's been no justice for you. I don't even know what's happened from this, because the thing about it is we don't even know what she's gotten, or if
that's
anything.
A true statement. That's a true statement. All the news has been on Urban Meyer, Ohio State, the fallout for them, Zach Smith. no news has come out about the justice for Chrissy Smith and what's going to happen for her moving forward. And that's a good point.
Yeah, and that's wrong, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, Urban didn't lose his job. He's still going to get paid. His wife who works, Urban Meyer's wife who works down in Ohio State still has her job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, they did let go of Zach Smith, but he should have been let go. He should have been let go in 2009. So that's not a big deal. But the problem is his wife has 2 children that probably, maybe, I don't know, I'm not just saying, but might have seen her husband beat on her. But now their story, at least they know now. They know about the situation. It's all through the news that this happened to his wife, but what's happening for her?
Right.
There's no justice for her. So, I mean, Urban Meyer, I mean, that's cool. Ohio State, they can do whatever they want to do, you know what I'm saying? But big money, fame, wins, basically, and when it comes to sports, will get you whatever you want, basically. That's what the NCAA is basically saying.
Absolutely. I mean, nothing's changed. It's all the same. And it's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. So we'll see if the NCAA steps in and decides to put in a stiffer penalty and, go ahead and enforce the firing and the release of Urban Meyer. We'll see how this goes. But I think if they let this linger for too long, they're not going to do it, which is kind of messed up.
And you know what I just thought about too? What they probably going to do, Ohio State, is they probably going to allow this to build up. It might be some backlash from the fans. Of course, you're going to get everything from Urban Meyer, but what they're going to do is they're going to let him win and get to the playoffs. And if he can get a championship, that'd be great. If not, then they have an excuse. Oh, we can't do this no more.
Right.
We're going to let you go. We just can't do it. But they couldn't do it now, because if they did it now, then they would have had to get a new coach. All their transfers probably would have left, and that'd have been it. Like they didn't want to leave. They didn't want all their players to leave in Ohio State. They couldn't salvage this whole year. They just didn't want to let it go. Yeah. It's clear, obvious why they gave it.
Too close to the season. It's too close to the season. It's too close. So, well, again, as we say here, it's hella flagrant. We'll definitely stay tuned and keep y'all updated as more things unfold, if they do unfold, for this story. So